Just as Sarah was about to close the file, something slipped from between the pages of photograph. Her heart lurched. It was a picture of the puppeteer. She stared at it, transfixed. The man stood in the shadows, holding the puppet in one hand, its limp wooden limbs hanging lifeless. But just like in the other reports, the man's face was a smudged blur. She felt the room shift, as though the very walls were pulling inward, enclosing her in a tightening grip. The temperature plummeted further, her breath now visible in the air. Suddenly, a sensation crawled up her spinal cord, creeping awareness that she was no longer alone. Sarah's eyes darted to the edges of the room, to the
Trusted
corners
travel
where
booking
shadows
partner.
seemed to gather
Download the
unnaturally
Trip.com app
thick.
and discover
The
amazing travel
photograph
deals.
fell from her hands, landing face up on the floor. In the silence, the ticking of the clock grew deafening, each second pounding in her ears. She bent down to pick up the photograph, but hesitated. Something was wrong. The puppeteer had moved. Its head was now turned ever so slightly, looking directly at her. Sarah's breath hitched. She jerked upright, eyes wide, heart hammering in her chest. Her instinct was to flee, to leave the file, the photograph. The room, everything but her legs, refused to move. Her mind whirled. Had she seen it? Really seen it move? Then she remembered. The warning. She glanced at the file's cover again. This time, the words in bold at the top seemed to scream at her. Do not open without official APE protective eyewear. Her stomach dropped. It was too late. She had opened it. She had seen it. And now, it had seen her. The room dimmed as the shadows lengthened, closing in. And Sarah felt the unmistakable pull of invisible strings, tightening around her wrists. She wasn't alone anymore.